Admiral Reina Martinez stood at the observation deck of the Lunar Defense Station Artemis, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching alien fleet. The vessels had appeared near Jupiter's orbit just hours ago, their design unlike anything humanity had encountered in their centuries of space exploration. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Commander James O'Neill, her second-in-command, stepped forward. 17 vessels in total, Admiral. The largest is approximately 3 kilometers in length. They're maintaining formation but have slowed their approach. Our quantum sensors indicate their technology is different. Not necessarily superior, just evolved along a different path than ours. The year was 2247, and humanity had spent the last century preparing for this moment. After discovering the ruins of an ancient alien outpost on Mars in 2157, Earth's nations had united under the Global Defense Initiative, pooling their resources and knowledge. They had kept their most advanced technologies hidden, developing in secret while maintaining a facade of being a relatively young spacefaring species. "They're broadcasting," announced Lieutenant Kira Patel from her communications station. Her augmented neural interface flickered with streams of incoming data. Multiple frequencies, multiple formats. "They're being thorough." Martinez nodded. "Let's hear it." The message filled the command center. "To the sentient species of the third planet, we come as representatives of the Arcturus Confederation, a fellowship of spacefaring civilizations. We seek peaceful contact and cultural exchange." "How diplomatic," O'Neill muttered. "And how convenient that they speak perfect English." Martinez shared his skepticism. The timing was too perfect, coming just as humanity had finished deploying their quantum defense grid. "Send the prepared response. Let's play this exactly as planned." Within hours, the first diplomatic meeting was arranged aboard a neutral station constructed by the aliens in Earth orbit. Martinez led the human delegation, accompanied by O'Neill and Dr. Viktor Petrov, Earth's leading xenotechnologist. The alien representatives were a diverse group. Their leader, Ambassador Zarek of the Arcturus Confederation, possessed crystalline features that seemed to shift colors with their emotions. Their delegation included members of various species, some humanoid, others utterly alien in form. "We are pleased by your swift response," Zarek began, their voice resonating with harmonic undertones. "Our scans indicate your civilization has achieved basic spacefaring capability, with colonies on Mars and your moon. Quite impressive for your age." Martinez maintained a carefully neutral expression. "We make do with what we have, Ambassador. Humanity has always been resourceful." Indeed, Zarek's crystalline features shifted to a deep blue. "The Confederation has protocols for integrating new species into our community. We typically require demonstrations of technological and cultural advancement." "What kind of demonstrations?" Petrov asked, his cybernetic eyes recording every detail of the interaction. "A series of trials," another alien delegate explained, this one a tall, serpentine being named Thex. "Tests of your species' capabilities in various fields, science, combat, ethics, and innovation." Martinez exchanged glances with her team. This was exactly as their predictive AI models had anticipated. The aliens would propose a series of challenges, expecting to demonstrate their superiority while testing humanity's potential. "And if we refuse?" O'Neill asked, playing his part perfectly. "Then we would be forced to conclude that your species is not yet ready for greater galactic interaction," Zarek replied smoothly. "We would establish a quarantine perimeter around your solar system, for your own protection of course." Martinez allowed herself a small smile. "That won't be necessary, Ambassador. We accept your trials. However, we have one condition: regardless of the outcome, Earth maintains its sovereignty." The alien delegates seemed surprised by her quick acceptance and the firmness of her condition. Zarek's crystalline form flickered with rapid color changes before settling on a cautious green. "Agreed," they said finally. The trials will begin in one standard rotation of your planet. You may select your champions and prepare as you see fit. As the human delegation departed the station, Petrov activated his quantum-encrypted neural link to Earth Command. They didn't scan past our outer defense layer. They have no idea about the Dyson swarm under construction behind the Sun, or the quantum fold technology we reversed engineered from the Mars ruins. Martinez nodded. Keep everything under wraps. Let them think they're dealing with an emerging civilization. When the trials begin, we'll show them exactly why humanity has survived everything our planet has thrown at us. The next 24 hours would be crucial. While the aliens prepared their trials, humanity would activate systems and technologies that had remained hidden for decades. The game was about to begin, and Earth's players had cards their opponents never expected to see. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only to a select few, Admiral Martinez stood before the assembled champions of humanity. The cavernous chamber, carved into the ocean floor, housed some of Earth's most closely guarded secrets. The Arcturus Confederation has provided details of their trials, she announced to the gathered elite. They've designed 5 challenges: tactical combat, technological innovation, planetary survival, xenobiological adaptation, and something they call cosmic understanding. Captain Raj Patel, leader of the Ghost Squadron, stepped forward. His carbon fiber-enhanced muscles rippled beneath his stealth suit. They're testing our worthiness on every level. Physical, mental, and spiritual. Precisely, Dr. Petrov interjected, his cybernetic eyes projecting data onto the chamber's holographic interface. But they've made a crucial mistake. They've designed these trials based on their assumptions about our current level of development. The assembled group included humanity's secret weapons. Besides Patel, there was Dr. Isabella Romano, whose breakthrough in quantum consciousness had revolutionized human neural enhancement. Next to her stood Commander Wei Chen, the architect of Earth's hidden orbital defense network. And at the back, silent but watchful, was the imposing figure of Colonel Marcus Hayes, whose genetic modifications made him appear deceptively ordinary, until combat began. Our strategic advantage, Martinez continued, is their underestimation. They expect a species that's barely reached Mars. Instead, they're facing a civilization that's already mastered quantum folding and consciousness transfer. The holographic display shifted to show the alien vessels in orbit. Dr. Romano pointed to specific energy signatures. Their technology is impressive, but it developed along predictable lines. They focused on physical manipulation of spacetime. We took a different path, the integration of consciousness with quantum mechanics. Which they haven't detected, Wei added with a slight smile. Our quantum shielding makes all our advanced tech look like simple fusion and ion drives to their sensors. The chamber's lights dimmed as a new simulation appeared. It showed the trial arenas the aliens had constructed in Earth orbit. 5 massive structures, each designed to test humanity in different ways. The first trial begins tomorrow, Martinez announced. Tactical combat. They expect us to showcase our best traditional military capabilities. Colonel Hayes, you're up first. Hayes stepped forward, his movements liquid smooth. Rules of engagement. They've provided a complex scenario. Urban combat against their best warriors, using what they believe to be slightly superior technology to ours. No fatal injuries permitted, but otherwise, unrestricted. What they don't know, Dr. Romano interjected, is that Hayes's neural enhancements allow him to process information 1,000 times faster than a normal human. His quantum-linked consciousness can predict movement patterns seconds before they occur. Hayes nodded slowly. And they want me to use their weapons? That's correct, Petrov confirmed. They've provided what they consider to be standardized combat gear. Energy weapons, personal shields, basic exo-enhancement suits. Keep the full extent of your capabilities hidden, Martinez ordered. Win impressively, but not impossibly. We need them to slowly realize they've miscalculated, not panic and resort to desperate measures. The briefing continued for hours, each champion receiving detailed instructions about their role in the coming trials. The aliens had designed each challenge to test what they believed to be the limits of human capability. They had no idea that humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. In a quiet corner, Commander O'Neill consulted his neural interface, reviewing the latest data from Earth's hidden quantum sensors. The alien fleet's movements, their energy signatures, every communication pattern, all were being analyzed by AI systems far more advanced than anything the Confederation suspected existed on Earth. "They're confident," he reported to Martinez. "Their internal communications suggest they see this as a routine evaluation of a promising but immature species." Martinez allowed herself a small smile. "Good. Let them keep thinking that. Tomorrow, we begin showing them just how wrong they are, one carefully measured revelation at a time." As the champions dispersed to their final preparations, Dr. Romano remained behind with Martinez. "The quantum consciousness network is ready," she reported. "Every champion is linked. They'll be able to share experiences and adapt strategies in real time, completely undetectable to alien observation." "And the fail-safes?" "Multiple layers. If they somehow detect one capability, there are dozens more hidden beneath. We're not just ready for these trials, Admiral. We're ready for any potential hostile response when they realize just how advanced we really are." Martinez turned to the massive window overlooking the ocean floor, where ancient aquaculture facilities stretched into the darkness. Humanity had learned to survive and thrive in the harshest environments their world could offer. Now, they would show the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their physical capabilities. It was their ability to adapt, to prepare, and to surpass every limitation others placed upon them. As the champions made their final preparations, automated systems throughout the solar system continued their work. Behind the sun, the partial Dyson swarm harvested energy. In the Kuiper belt, automated factories produced quantum-enhanced materials. And in hidden facilities across Earth and Mars, the next generation of human advancement continued to evolve. The aliens thought they were testing humanity's worthiness to join their confederation. They didn't realize that humanity was actually assessing the Confederation's readiness to handle the full truth of what humanity had become. The first trial arena hung in Earth's orbit like a massive crystalline spiderweb. Observation pods containing representatives from 24 alien species clustered around its edges, their sensors focused on the central combat zone. Colonel Marcus Hayes stood in the preparation chamber, appearing to all observers as nothing more than a fit human male in standard combat gear. Ambassador Zarek's voice echoed through the chamber. "The rules are simple. You will face 5 of our Confederation's elite warriors in successive combat scenarios. Victory is achieved through incapacitation or surrender. Fatal force is prohibited." Hayes activated his neural link, connecting with the quantum consciousness network. Dr. Romano's voice filtered through his thoughts. "Remember, show them only what we've planned. Level 1 capabilities only." The first scenario materialized around him, a ruined cityscape bathed in purple twilight. His opponent, a towering reptilian warrior from the Proxima system, materialized 30 meters away. The alien wore what the Confederation considered advanced combat armor, its surface rippling with energy fields. "Begin," Zarek announced. The alien warrior moved with incredible speed, crossing the distance in seconds. To the observers, Hayes appeared to barely dodge the first strike. What they couldn't see was his quantum-enhanced consciousness processing every possible movement before it happened. "Their combat patterns are predictable," Hayes communicated through the network. "They rely too heavily on their technology." The alien pressed its attack, energy blade slicing through the air where Hayes had been milliseconds before. To maintain the illusion of a close match, Hayes allowed several near misses, his movements appearing desperate but skilled. In the observation pod, Martinez watched alongside the alien delegates. Ambassador Thex leaned forward, their serpentine form coiled with tension. "Your warrior moves well, for a species so young. We've had plenty of practice fighting each other, Martinez replied dryly. Hayes waited until exactly the right moment, when the alien's confidence peaked. Then he moved. To the observers, it appeared as a lucky counterstrike, a perfect exploitation of an overextended attack. The reality was far more calculated. Hayes disabled his opponent with a precise strike that overloaded the alien's armor systems while simultaneously triggering a temporary neural shutdown. The alien crumpled, unconscious but unharmed. Silence fell over the observation pods. Impressive, Zarek admitted. But luck plays its part in any combat. The next opponent will be more challenging. The next 3 battles followed a similar pattern. Hayes allowed each fight to appear progressively more difficult while carefully revealing only the planned level of capability. By the 4th victory, the alien observers had moved from dismissive to concerned. They're starting to worry, O'Neill reported through the network. Internal communications show increased agitation. They're questioning their initial assessments. The final opponent was different, a being of pure energy contained within a humanoid form. Our most advanced warrior, Zarek announced. No human reflexes can match its speed. Hayes allowed himself a small smile. The alien still didn't understand. This wasn't about reflexes, it was about humanity's fundamental understanding of consciousness and its connection to quantum reality. The energy being attacked with literal lightning speed, its form dissolving and reforming across the battlefield. To the amazement of the observers, Hayes moved with impossible precision, each dodge and counterstrike perfectly timed. Impossible, Vex whispered. Their neural processing speed would need to be. Hayes ended the fight with a demonstration that pushed slightly beyond their planned revelations, a combination of moves that showed not just enhanced speed and strength, but an understanding of energy manipulation that should have been beyond human capability. In the silence that followed his victory, Hayes stood calmly in the arena center. Through the quantum network, he sensed the other champions preparing for their trials. Dr. Romano was next, ready to demonstrate humanity's mastery of consciousness in ways that would further shake the Confederation's assumptions. An impressive display, Zarek announced, their crystalline form shifting through troubled colors. Your species shows unexpected potential. Martinez stepped forward in the observation pod. Thank you, Ambassador. Shall we proceed to the next trial? Dr. Romano is eager to demonstrate our approach to consciousness integration. The alien delegates exchanged worried glances. Their internal communications, easily intercepted by Earth's quantum sensors, showed growing concern. They had expected to guide a young species into galactic society. Instead, they were beginning to suspect they had awakened something far more advanced than they had imagined. As Hayes left the arena, he sent one final message through the quantum network: they're beginning to understand, Admiral. But they still haven't guessed that this is just the surface of what we can do. In the hidden facility beneath the Pacific, banks of quantum computers processed the data from the first trial. Each alien reaction, each shift in their energy signatures, each encrypted communication, all of it fed into prediction models that would help shape the coming revelations. The next trial would push the boundaries further. Dr. Romano would demonstrate capabilities that the aliens believed were centuries beyond human achievement. And still, it would only be a fraction of humanity's true potential. The game was proceeding exactly as planned. The only question was how the Confederation would react, and they finally realized just how completely they had underestimated Earth's children. Dr. Isabella Romano stood in the center of the consciousness integration chamber, her neural interfaces glowing softly beneath her skin. The alien observation pods had been reconfigured, their sensors calibrated to detect thought patterns and consciousness waves. This trial would be different from Hayes's physical demonstration. It would reveal humanity's mastery of the mind itself. The parameters are set, Ambassador Zarek announced, their crystalline form pulsing with barely concealed anxiety. You will attempt to interface with our quantum consciousness matrix. Few species have ever managed more than basic connection. What the aliens didn't know was that humanity had long since surpassed such primitive interfaces. Romano's consciousness already existed partially in quantum space, her thoughts moving at speeds that made light seem sluggish. Beginning interface, she announced calmly. The alien matrix materialized around her in streams of light and data. To the observers, it appeared as if she was carefully studying the interface, taking her first tentative steps into their technology. In reality, she had already mapped its entire structure and found it endearingly simple compared to Earth's quantum consciousness network. Remarkable clarity for a first attempt, Thex observed, their serpentine form twisting with interest. Perhaps we underestimated their neural development. Then Romano began to push further. She allowed her consciousness to expand into the matrix, deliberately triggering warning signals in the alien monitoring systems. Their technology wasn't designed to handle the complexity of human quantum consciousness integration. Impossible, one of the alien technicians announced. She's accessing layers that should be beyond her comprehension. The matrix wasn't designed for this level of integration. In the observation pod, Admiral Martinez watched the growing consternation among the alien delegates. Through her own neural link, she monitored the real situation. Romano wasn't just interfacing with their matrix, she was subtly rewriting its fundamental architecture, demonstrating capabilities that the Confederation believed were theoretical at best. Your system is interesting, Romano commented, her voice echoing both physically and through the quantum space. But it's rather limited. Allow me to show you something more advanced. Before the aliens could protest, she initiated a controlled demonstration of human consciousness technology. The matrix around her transformed, expanding into new dimensions of thought and reality that the aliens had never explored. Stop this immediately. Zarek demanded, their crystalline form flashing warning colors. You're exceeding the trial parameters. But Romano wasn't done. With careful precision, she demonstrated how human consciousness could not just interface with, but fundamentally alter quantum reality itself. The aliens watched in growing horror as their most advanced consciousness technology was effortlessly manipulated by what they had assumed was a primitive species. Admiral, O'Neill's voice came through the secure quantum link, they're activating their defense systems. The fleet is powering up weapons. Martinez had expected this. Maintain current stance. Let them make the next move. In the trial chamber, Romano slowly withdrew from the matrix, leaving behind subtle changes that would take the aliens years to fully understand. As she opened her physical eyes, she smiled at the assembled delegates. Thank you for the opportunity to interface with your system. I hope this demonstration was illuminating. The chamber erupted in chaos. Alien delegates argued in multiple languages, their secure communications channels flooding with panicked messages that Earth's quantum sensors easily intercepted. This changes everything, Thex announced, addressing Zarek. They're not just more advanced than we thought, they're operating on levels we barely understand. Zarek's crystalline form had shifted to a deep, troubled purple. We must convene an emergency session of the Confederation Council. These trials must be suspended until we can reassess the situation. Martinez stepped forward, her expression carefully neutral. Is there a problem, Ambassador? Dr. Romano operated entirely within the parameters you set. We're simply demonstrating our capabilities, as requested. Those capabilities should not exist, Zarek replied, their voice resonating with new frequencies of concern. Your species is too young. This level of advancement is impossible without external assistance. Through the quantum network, Commander Wei Chen prepared for his trial, which would demonstrate humanity's mastery of space-time manipulation. But now there was a new variable, the aliens' growing fear might push them to desperate action. Perhaps, Martinez suggested smoothly, we should proceed with the remaining trials before drawing conclusions. Commander Wei is ready to demonstrate our approach to space-time dynamics. The alien delegates huddled together, their private communications reaching a fever pitch of activity. Earth's quantum sensors recorded it all, feeding into prediction models that suggested a 97% chance of the aliens attempting to change the rules. "We require a recess," Zarek finally announced. "The trials will resume after we consult with the Confederation Council." As the aliens retreated to their ships, Martinez activated her neural link to Earth command. "They're running scared, exactly as predicted. Prepare for Phase 2. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum systems hummed to life. The Dyson swarm behind the sun shifted slightly, its energy collection capabilities ready to power defenses that the aliens couldn't begin to comprehend. In the Kuiper Belt, automated factories accelerated their production of quantum-enhanced materials. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. The aliens' fear was about to push them into actions that would justify the revelation of even more advanced human capabilities. The game was entering its final phase, and Earth held cards that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what humanity had become. The Confederation fleet's energy signatures shifted, their weapons powering up as they moved into defensive formations around Earth. Admiral Martinez watched from the lunar defense station Artemis, her expression calm despite the escalating situation. "They're preparing to establish a quarantine perimeter," O'Neill reported, monitoring the quantum sensor feeds. "Their ships are positioning to cut off all potential escape vectors from the solar system." Martinez allowed herself a small smile. "Exactly as predicted. Time to show them why that's a mistake." Through the Quantum Consciousness Network, she connected with all of Earth's champions and key military leaders. "Initiate Protocol Revelation. Authorization Martinez Alpha 0. Across the solar system, hidden systems emerged from quantum concealment. The massive Dyson swarm behind the sun shimmered into visible existence, its energy collection capabilities dwarfing anything the Confederation had ever built. Quantum fold generators activated throughout the asteroid belt, revealing shipyards and defense platforms that had remained hidden for decades. Ambassador Zarek's voice crackled through the communication channels, their crystalline tones sharp with alarm. "What is the meaning of this? Your level of technological advancement is impossible." "No, Ambassador," Martinez replied calmly. "Not impossible. We simply chose to develop differently than you expected. Those ruins we found on Mars a century ago. They weren't just artifacts, they were a test, left by the precursor civilization you call the Ancients." In the observation pods, the alien delegates watched in stunned silence as humanity revealed its true face. Commander Wei Chen activated the Quantum Fold Network, demonstrating how humanity had mastered space-time manipulation far beyond the Confederation's understanding. "You see, Ambassador," Martinez continued, "while you were building ever larger ships and more powerful weapons, we focused on understanding the fundamental nature of consciousness and reality itself. The Mars ruins showed us that the path to true advancement wasn't through brute force technology, but through the integration of mind and quantum mechanics. The alien fleet's weapons remained charged, but their commanders were clearly hesitating. Earth's revealed capabilities had completely upended their strategic calculations." Dr. Romano's voice echoed through both normal and quantum space. "Your consciousness technology, impressive as it is, only scratches the surface. We've learned to exist simultaneously in multiple quantum states, to process information at speeds that make light seem slow, to manipulate reality itself through focused consciousness." "Impossible," Vex whispered. "You would have had to." Their voice trailed off as the implications became clear. "Yes," Martinez confirmed. "We've been watching you for far longer than you realize. Every ship you sent to secretly observe Earth was detected. Every probe was identified and fed carefully curated information. We needed to understand the Confederation before revealing ourselves." Colonel Hayes stepped forward in the trial arena, his neutral expression belying the power he now displayed openly. His quantum-enhanced consciousness created visible distortions in space-time around him. "The trials weren't about proving ourselves to you," he said quietly. "They were about determining if you were ready for the truth about humanity's advancement. The Confederation fleet's weapons powered down as the full implications became clear. Humanity hadn't just matched their level of technology, they had taken entirely different paths to advancement that the Confederation had never considered possible. "The quarantine you're contemplating," Martinez said, her voice carrying a hint of amusement, "would be about as effective as trying to hold back the tide with your hands. We've already established quantum-fold corridors throughout the galaxy. We've been exploring and observing for decades." Ambassador Zarek's crystalline form shifted through a rainbow of confused colors. "Why?" they finally asked. "Why maintain this deception? Why not simply reveal yourselves?" "Because history shows that sudden revelations of advanced civilizations often lead to conflict," Martinez explained. "We needed to understand the Confederation's true nature. Would you respond with diplomacy or aggression? Understanding or fear? Your response to our carefully measured revelations told us everything we needed to know." Through the quantum network, Earth Command confirmed that the alien fleet's commanders were standing down, their tactical systems shifting to defensive postures only. The prediction models had been correct. Faced with humanity's true capabilities, the Confederation would choose diplomacy over conflict. "So," Martinez continued, "shall we begin real negotiations? Not as superior and inferior civilizations, but as equals who have followed different paths to advancement. There is much we could learn from each other." The silence that followed was profound. Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden achievements stood revealed: quantum fold generators, consciousness integration networks, space-time manipulation technologies that the Confederation had thought impossible. Finally, Zarek spoke, their voice carrying new harmonics of respect and perhaps a touch of fear. "The Confederation will need to reconsider many of its assumptions. Perhaps it is we who must prove ourselves worthy of relations with Earth." Martinez nodded, her quantum-enhanced consciousness already processing the myriad possibilities this moment had created. "Welcome, Ambassador, to humanity's true face. We look forward to showing you just how much more there is to discover." In the depths of space, the ancient quantum sensors left by humanity's deep exploration teams continued their silent watch. The galaxy was vast, and humanity had only begun to understand its mysteries. But now, at last, they could proceed openly, ready to share their unique path to advancement with a universe that had severely underestimated the children of Earth.